Farmers back bid for WTO move on China. Australian exporters have backed the Morrison government's move to take China to the World Trade Organisation over its trade strike on barley, as the 9-month, $20 billion fight between the trading partners enters the multilateral arena. The decision by Trade Minister Simon Birmingham yesterday follows a shutdown of ministerial contact between Canberra and Beijing, accusations of economic coercion and frustration boiling over on both sides as diplomatic relations plummet to their lowest level in 50 years. In fact, I would say it's the lowest level ever. And can I just give you a stat tonight here, Caleb? I had Matt Canavan on my Sky News Across Australia show earlier tonight. He told me that the Chinese are now buying, can you believe this? I can't believe it, but I'm sure he's right. The Chinese are now buying coal at 30% higher costs than what they can buy it off us, Australia, simply to make, they're buying it off Canada, simply to make a point with Australia, which seems extraordinary, but clearly they've got vengeance on their mind, these Chinese.
Well, China has the money to burn on these kinds of things, don't they? And, you know, I've said this before, but they're making a purely political point over the fact that we dared to question them about coronavirus. And it is quite extraordinary when you think that the rest of the world, when we began our questioning, joined in and was more than happy to join us in our questioning of China. But because we were the evil country that dared to raise it in the first place, to ask where coronavirus came from, how it spread, why it was not stopped, what China knew about it before it spread, they've gone after us. And we cannot tolerate that. I mean, we have to use every avenue we possibly can to fight them, because the great danger is that we roll over to China. What they are doing is exerting power upon us, and we are not the first country that they have done this to, but they're trying to prove to us that they can strong-arm us, they can do what they want, that we don't have any autonomy. And the minute we allow them to do that, the minute we buy into it, it solidifies their belief, it validates it. And we cannot be in a position where a communist country like China, I think people forget that China is a communist country. It's run by the Chinese Communist Party. There are wonderful people who come from the Chinese community, who live in Australia, work in Australia, but the regime that runs China is fundamentally communist and has Chinese people under its thumb. It's not just us suffering. Actual Chinese people living in China suffer every day at the hands of the CCP, and we cannot tolerate this kind of bullying from them.